What is going on, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde live on the Blue and Gold YouTube channel. 2 days after Notre Dame's 34-23 loss to Ohio State in the national championship game. 2 days ago, but it feels like a week ago. We're going to talk about reflections on that game. We're going to look at it 2025. Then we're going to talk about the news from today so you had the game Monday. Tuesday was travel day, kind of, just reflect on it from the team standpoint. And then Wednesday, it's all right, news is happening. So you got transfer portal news and then Al Golden news. We're going to talk about all of that in today's show. Folks, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content. Of course, go to blueandgold.com for more Notre Dame football and recruiting content. Tim, you doing all right, buddy?
Yeah, on to 2025, right? So it's funny, doing all right. It's so funny. The reaction from fans is, oh, we're going on a run, we're doing this, and it's like it's never as easy as that, right? I mean, look at Al Golden's going back to Cincinnati. Last time he coached there, they were in a Super Bowl. Haven't been close since. So you just never know. And they got one of the best quarterbacks in the country, right? And Joe Burrow. So it's a battle. Every year's a battle. Every year's a grind. 1993, people are finally starting to talk about claiming that as a title. Thank you. I know Shane Gillis is doing that, and he's starting to. It's like, dude, I've been saying that for ages. Well, welcome aboard. He said that on Pat McAfee the other day, claiming it. So I was like, yes, we're getting the mojo. It's slowly going to build. Just claim the damn thing, Mike. So that's 1993. Notre Dame doesn't play for one until 2012. And here we are not playing again for one until 2024. So I hope it's not that long again.
Yeah, it's definitely harder to reach it now.
Oh yeah, I mean this, and that's, I mean, the standard is the playoff. And I've said this before, whether people like it or not, but it's true. It's the playoffs is just getting to a New Year's Six bowl. It really is. And guess what? Notre Dame hasn't been to back-to-back New Year's Six bowls since 05-06. So, 2000, that's playoffs. I always forget that Fiesta Bowl. We always want to throw that damn thing out the window. So you got 20 and 21, obviously. So 2021, they didn't do 17-18 was 19 not. So 05-06, and then you got 20 and 21. Those are the only times that we've played back-to-back New Year's Six, meaning top 12 in the country. So it's not as easy as it says. All these preseason polls are going to have Notre Dame between 3 and 5. Rightfully so. Notre Dame's got a damn good football team, but you got to go out and earn it. But that's the exciting thing. Getting ready for the 2025 season is now we can talk about year 4, right? The standard's been set. The playoff run's been there. Freeman, it's got a philosophy. We'll talk on defense, obviously offense with Denbrock, a recruiting philosophy, a portal philosophy. So things are in place. Now you just got to keep going out and doing it on the football field. Yeah.
Do you want to see what I got for you at the game?
Oh, geez, I even asked. Oh, hey, by the way, I like rarely rewatch our shows because it's like
I never have. I don't think.
No, sometimes I put them on the background just to
I would shoot myself in the head if I had to listen to myself
talk. I've
talk.
done it in 2 years, but you said it was loud. Dude, it was loud on our post-game show. I couldn't hear a damn thing, but with you trying to talk, I was like, oh my God, you could hear everything in the background. I couldn't hear it for some reason. But our show, that place was rocking. That place was loud.
It was
you trying to do a show up in that press box. Kudos to you.
Yeah, I got like Jack Sobel and Horka and Kyle Kelly, and I think that was actually my first time meeting Eric Hansen in person. I was like, hi. I'm like doing a show. I knew myself. Hi, Eric. By the way, it's like awesome. Sweet Jesse's like walking past me because I was like the end of the row. So people were walking back to their seats. All right, here's what I got you, Tim. This first thing, you can tell me to throw it away. I didn't know. I saw it. I picked it up. I didn't know if that was something that you would think would be cool or not. I can throw it away. I picked you up confetti. This is confetti that was on the ground. There was the red confetti, but then they had this. This is like your long gold stuff. I picked it up for you.
I will, Mike. I'll take it because before I die, I have to see Notre Dame beat Ohio State once. So when it happens, and if it
All right.
doesn't ever happen, it's going to be my will for someone to burn that down the road.
So here's just history papers and
Never
just
have
different
enough
stats.
I love it.
Here's your roster.
Yeah, those are the best.
You know, that pops up. Depth chart and stuff on the back, and then of course, you know,
the programs are the
dude.
best.
This thing smells so freaking good. It just that freshness. So
Does
of
it
course I
smell
got you
like
the program.
Like buttery popcorn on the ground?
No. And then Tim, there is one other thing that I can't say. I'm not going to say what it is. It's a surprise. And who is sending it to you is also a surprise.
All right, good to go. Leave that.
I cooked something up for you. And when you get it, I need you to call me or like FaceTime me. Okay. This is not a text. It is a call. You will know it when you see it. And you'll know exactly what it is. It's a hoot. So Tim, let's go to the big news of the day.
Yes.
Al Golden, tweet from Pete Thamel, who broke this news at 4:27 p.m. Eastern time. Sources: Notre Dame DC Al Golden is expected to become the Cincinnati Bengals' next defense coordinator. He's informed Notre Dame officials of his decision. So the first part of this, expecting to become the DC, we all expected it. But it's okay, it's official. He told Notre Dame. He told Notre Dame earlier today. Nothing's been made official at the time of recording this. But we talked about this on our post-game show because that's when the news first dropped. Like, hey, this is going kind of trending in this direction. But definitely wanted to touch on it again, Tim. Just your thoughts on Al Golden going to the Bengals. People are asking, like, hey, is this a promotion for him? I mean, it's college to the NFL. I think he truly loves the Bengals organization. And then thoughts on replacing him. Do you like the idea of Mickens? Do you want another gray-haired guy? Like, what do you think about who should replace Golden?
Yeah, well, first off, you got back-to-back top 10 scoring defenses under Al Golden. So let's just start there. He's done a tremendous job. I want to say, don't have the stats off of me. I have it on a yellow sheet of paper. It's down in my basement. Ohio State had over 400 yards. That may only be the second time he's given up that many yards in his 3 years, which is very, very impressive. So, they've been on a run. Because I chart yards per play. I've been doing that since he's been there. I even went back to Freeman and Clark Lee's years. And his 3-year run of just yards per play per game is insane. So they have, we talked about this on Saturday night. They got a philosophy. They're going to stick to it. They're going to play it. They're going to recruit to it. They're going to coach to it. Number one, that's damn good coaching. That's damn good head coach leadership, who knows what he wants to do and he goes and gets it done. So that's really great. And Al Golden, the gray hair, he's been around. Jack Swarbrick interviewed him in 2010 when he was at Temple as possible candidate to replace, Charlie Weiss. So he had always been in the Swarbrick Rolodex. And obviously when this thing came open, Freeman interviewed his coaching mate at Cincinnati, who's, the 3-3-5 coordinator at Iowa State. But Al Golden was always there. So, and his resume speaks for itself, 2-time head coach, all those good things. So, happy as heck for him, man. Yeah. People are like, oh, it's a step down. Dude, you're going to the NFL. It's not a step down. First off, the greatest job in America is the fired football coach, whatever it is in the NFL. So he will be fired. The DC who taught him defense gets fired at Cincinnati. He is hired within a few days with the Colts. So Golden, man, once you get into that NFL line of work, it's hard to get out of that. So kudos to him, excited for him, all that good stuff. Now moving forward, Mickens, Notre Dame's always hired established guys, outside Clark Lee and Barry Alvarez when Lou Holtz promoted him in '88. Everyone's been established.
I always forget this guy's name. He does incredible work at Irish Sports Daily, the guy who does one of their shows. He tweeted that, like, Mike Mickens is more established or has a better resume to this point than when Clark Lee was hired, to replace Mike Elko. And Tim, I want to throw this off you real quick as you dive more into this. and I posted some kind of, I don't want to call them nuggets, maybe like maybe a little cut up nugget. You know, it wasn't quite a nugget of information, just a little teaser things on the
A little
message board. You
chirp, a
guys
little
can check
birdie
it out.
chirp.
There you go. The I just lost my train of thought, but okay. So with Freeman, you think it's either established guy, right, gray hair factor, or Mickens. I guess you could do some up and coming guys, sure, but it's like, why wouldn't you just do Mickens? We'll see.
Sure.
But do you feel like, okay, Freeman just went through 3 years of head coach, including this 2024 season, which felt like 2 years,
Oh
right? It was
God,
such a long season of coaching. Like Freeman maybe doesn't need an experienced defensive coordinator like he did when he hired Gold. When he became a head coach, it's like, all right, I need experience on that side of the ball. And of course, Reese, was grandfathered in and everything to basically be the head coach of the offensive side of the ball. And then you go to Parker, which wasn't everyone's favorite hire, then to Denbrock. So you get the gray hair factor with Denbrock. Do you think Freeman needs that as his new defensive coordinator to replace Golden? Because for me, I feel like he doesn't maybe need that anymore. He's been through a lot now as a head coach. Or is it, Tim? It's just 3 years. Like, do you disagree with me?
3 years at Notre Dame is 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, those are all good points because you go back how much he's gone through, right? I mean, we've all lived through the heart attacks. We've all lived through the most amazing upsets, beating Clemson in 22 when they were ranked number 4, to obviously this playoff run, and the SC's about ready to tie the damn thing, and Christian Gray takes it 99. So yeah, I mean the ups and downs from the first year, all that, but no, I mean he probably doesn't, because number one, he's been at Notre Dame 4 years, so let's add
Sure.
that. Mike Mickens has been at Notre Dame 5 years.
5, yep.
Remember, he was there a year ahead, and he coached with Freeman. So you got guys, it's crazy, right? Their whole background, growing up together, all that good stuff, coaching together. So they know the ins and outs of one another, what they're thinking, scheming. Going back to the other day when you or someone in the chat asked, is this Golden scheme? I was like, I think it's Notre Dame scheme. I think it's what they've designed together. I really do. Because at the end of the day, Freeman's the head coach. Freeman has even talked about where he's given the thumbs up on the infamous double safety blitz against Ohio in 2022. And he talked about, at the end of the day, Al Golden's like, let's do this. Bam, let's go for it. And Golden's even talked in his press conferences where he's always talking to the defensive coaches. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. Change my mind. So that means they're all communicating on what's so not. So you got some experienced guys. So giving it to Mickens. Al Washington obviously was up for a head coaching job. You got Bola, the linebacker coach, who was with Saban for 3 or 4 years. So you got a lot of good minds, I think, on that defensive side.
Was that Boston College Washington interviewed for?
Yeah, BC for Al Washington last year.
I'm going to throw something out there.
And before that, real quick, before he took the ND job, he interviewed with Heupel as the DC at Tennessee. So obviously they, there's some well-established coaches there.
Something I feel like is not, I would not rule out, I'll just say that, is a co-coordinator thing.
Oh,
Mickens and Wash.
Totally agree with that. I totally, because once again, these are 2 Freeman guys. These are 2 guys he's coached with at Cincinnati. He's known these guys. Yeah. He handpicked these guys. I could easily see, because Washington's like the run game coordinator for, it's all pay raise stuff. Sure. Mickens the pass game. I could easily see a to help both these guys out and have Mickens call it.
The one reason why I don't think it would happen is just, maybe Freeman doesn't like co-coordinators, because it would have made sense for him to do that with Parker and Gino Guidugli, and he didn't. He just named Parker outright. So I don't know. We'll see. This is like, I don't think Freeman was like thinking in the back of his mind, like, here, guys, I'm going to go get if Golden leaves. Like, maybe, but this is all still fresh. Like, he still might be very early in the process of who he wants to go after.
Yeah, real quick, as Jay Carr's throwing up in the chat room, co-coordinators is just a symbolism. So Bill Snyder had co-coordinators for decades. And there's always only one guy. Co-coordinator is just a pay raise thing. That's all that means.
Well,
It's
it's
just
one guy. It's
and
one guy is
Bob
only one
Stoops
guy
had him in
can
Oklahoma.
only one guy can call the plays, but I think it's more
Exactly.
about like the game planning, right? It's like the
Exactly.
leading up to it.
It's a title thing. It's not, hey, flip a coin and you get this one, I get this 3rd and 8. No, it's
Right.
a title thing. It's to help guys out for jobs and things of that nature. I mean,
Well,
there's
yeah,
plenty of
that,
programs
but
like that.
again, I think it's the responsibilities of and doing it together. I think it's responsibilities during the week of preparation and things of
Yes,
that nature. Look
exactly.
at me
Running the
saying that
room,
Tim Hyde line, things of that nature. How about that?
things of that nature. I don't know
That's
where I
your
ever learned that. Must have read that in Hemingway or something, right? Probably not. But anyway, that's
You
just
haven't
something.
said chit chat in I think a year or two, by the way. The people are
No,
very
because
upset
people
about it.
use it all the time. So now I know it's on a bingo card. So I'm trying to get away from that damn thing. But real quick, yeah, I mean, Golden's awesome. He's leaving. Kudos to him. Notre Dame's got a damn good staff. The key question is obvious. I mean, Golden did not coach a position, so
Correct.
so they're gonna, as you know, they have an opening position. So I
They
mean,
do.
is that a gray hair? Is that somebody in the
If
Freeman
it's
pipeline that could come in and just be a roamer,
yeah,
someone that just go
I
around and
think
catch?
if you promote Mickens, then you hire a DB's coach. So like
Yes,
Mickens would just do corners, you hire a safeties coach.
yes, that makes
Because
sense.
like Golden's a linebackers guy, and then you hire Bola. It's like I don't know, just and because Mickens has been doing the secondary, on paper by himself, but I know Marty Biagi's been doing a lot with the DBs.
Yes,
So,
yeah,
but
he
that's
coached
not
the
really in his
safeties.
titles or something. Okay, let's talk about home field apparel. You guys absolutely love their stuff based on what I saw in Atlanta. Tim, I saw so much home field. I mean, because it's very specific. It's easy to recognize their stuff, not only because I read the ads all the time, but like the coach's jacket. This one right here, I think I saw 2 or 3 of them. So very popular. Goolsby was wearing a home field hoodie. Got to meet Mike Goolsby for the first time, by the way. I'm sure I'll talk about that in a little bit. People are very surprised about how tall I am. Apparently, Tim, I give off short king vibes. Like people think I'm short. Picture of me and Goolsby.
Mike, if you're 6'4",
I'm
Kyle
not six
Kelly
four.
Kyle Kelly's 5'5", 5'6".
Let me continue
Love
on.
you, Kyle. Love you.
So, folks, it is the off season now, but you're going to want to load up on Fighting Irish gear to wear all year around. And I really like this. The next time I put in a home field order, I'm getting this Notre Dame Classic logo ringer tee. I think this thing is sharp. I'm just like unique designs that like you can buy Notre Dame gear anywhere, anyhow, right? But nothing is going to be unique like quite like home field is. Like this is one of a kind stuff. You get the brand new clothing with the retro look, but no retro tears or smells. And they're rolling out new stuff all of the time. I talked about the coach's jacket, which is super unique. And again, I saw around Tim's wearing home field all the time as well. Close fit, great, comfortable. Check out homefieldapparel.com to check out the entire Notre Dame line. And if you have friends that are fans of another school, Homefield has licensed clothing for over 180 colleges. If it's your first time ordering, make sure I have not seen this vintage navy Notre Dame crew neck before. I don't know if that's new, but I feel like I've not seen that. Use the promo code BGI for your first time ordering at Homefield. That is good for 15% off your first order at Homefield. Tim, I got new internet today at my house, and I feel like a new man. It's incredible. I'm like over the moon. I got fiber. It's good. No more cutting out. I feel like I would cut out all the time, but that's not happening anymore. We're excited. Jake Norman said, "Can 20 million from CFP earnings be put into NIL?" I would hope so, right? I don't know exactly how they break up the funds and everything. I don't know where it all goes, but yeah, I mean, it's not all of it, but I'm sure some of it. I don't know exactly how it goes.
Yeah, and soon enough, everyone's going to be spending 20 million on a roster. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Jake Norman, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I don't have like a specific answer for you. I don't know exactly how they do that, but yeah, for one way or another, it will. JP says, I think Notre Dame should claim 11 national championships they don't claim since they didn't win outright and willingly choose not to.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, one of them is the Rockney thing. It drives me nuts when people are like, all these coaches won it in year 3. Well, Rockne won it in year 2 and 3. All right. He went 18-0 those 2 years. And his third year, they were national titles by many, many publications back then. But Notre Dame doesn't claim that. It's like, screw it. Claim it, Notre Dame. Who cares? Minnesota claims 25 titles. You could claim one. So what's it matter? Put more on the damn sign. So that's my philosophy. Claim a handful more.
JP, appreciate you. And Carl said, I say we give old BVG a second chance.
Oh my God, the chat's hyped. Thank you for that.
He gave us a great meme though, or that GIF.
Oh my! I mean, seriously, his first game ruined him. He goes out and shuts out Michigan for crying out loud that first season in 2014. Boom, downhill ever since.
So, Tim, 3 guys from Notre Dame entering the transfer portal that I want to talk about. We'll go through these, and then we'll go back to the reflections about the game, and then look at 2025. But Deion Colsey, not really surprised, Tim, from the class of 2021. His best year was 2 years ago as a sophomore when he was catching all those 3rd and 15 in breaking routes from Drew Pine. But I mean, I was pleased to see him play this year. He actually, I can't remember what game, maybe Florida State. He had a couple nice blocks and he had the touchdown. So I was glad to see Colsey in some this year, but just never really kind of tapped in or reached that potential that we thought he could have. And with 1 year of eligibility remaining, he is headed to the portal.
Yeah, I mean, he got his degree, right? He went to Notre Dame, played. Didn't obviously live up to the top 100 billing, but injuries, things like that set him back. But got his degree. He's got 1 more year. Wish him well. That's all you can do for guys like this that have played, battled at Notre Dame, blocked his tail off. He played a bunch. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, zeros out there during the playoffs. So, you know what? I mean, he didn't obviously come Notre Dame, excel and things of that nature. Plenty of reasons for that, but. As life moves on, happy for him. I don't think any of the portal things are really big surprises when you really look at them. So even going back to the season real quick, Mike, you had Tyson Ford, Gobira, Mickey, right? Those were the 3.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. I saw Gobira as going to
James Madison, I think.
James Madison, JMU, something like that. Mickey did Mickey and Ford both go to Cal?
Yeah, everyone who leaves Notre Dame goes to Cal.
It's Cal or UCLA, right? So
Cal or UCLA. Yeah, R. Mendoza, appreciate the 2. If U of M can cheat, we can have our 20 wins back. 12-13. R. Mendoza, appreciate you, brother.
Wait, Michigan cheating? That thing doesn't end.
Yeah, Jaden Thompson. I mean, look, Jaden played, I think, was 4th most receiver snaps, but
yeah,
he's got 1 year of eligibility remaining. I think that's is very understandable for him to go as well. You bring in Malachi Field. My understanding is Notre Dame wanted JT back, but you bring in Malachi Fields, the writings is kind of on the wall. I don't know who that number 2 boundary guy will be behind Fields, but this is understandable for sure from his point of view.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he just like Colsey got his degree, played a bunch. That hamstring injury killed him last year. Remember, he was the leading receiver, going into the Buckeyes game, then pulls that hamstring. Was never the same coming back, had a couple catches in the Sun Bowl, but, was back up all season. But he obviously, as you're saying, he played a ton because he blocks his butt off. He's a competitor. One thing I've noticed is whoever the hype man is next year, he will be transferring because last year it was Nana. Nana was the hype guy in the huddle, when they get the big break. And this year it's Thomas. So Thomas was this year's hype guy all game, for every game. Every year they have. I got to go back and look into who 22 was and see if he transferred. So I've noticed that's been the theme. So whoever that senior with 1 year of eligibility is next year, he'll be in the portal after the last game. But it's a joke, obviously. But no, he's solid. He was a darn good football player. Yeah. Did some really good things for Notre Dame. 1 more year left, which, knock on wood, man, hopefully this means some of these young guys can step up and play. That's because they only got 2 in the portal.
Yeah, I guess it's Gilbert. Maybe Gilbert is that guy backing up Fields next year.
better be, right? He better be. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be somebody, right? You only got Greathouse. Oh my God, KK Smith, Faison's a walk on. So you have 3 that are going to be juniors. You know, is KK Smith, gonna see the field in year 3, and then it's
He should.
the Cam Williams class, and then this year's group. So because they only have two transfers coming in, I thought for sure they would bring in 3. I just think by numbers and depth. So is that a sign that none of those guys are going to leave?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we'll talk about that in a second, Tim.
I had $2 on KK Smith leaving. That was one of my little, under the radar guys. But that's a good thing if he's going to stay.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think anyone else. Well, again, we'll talk about that in a second. But receiver snap. So JT had 340. That was behind Jordan Faison 401, Jaden Greathouse 493, Chris Mitchell 478, and Bo Collins 670. But I don't know, Tim. I'm not like 3 months ago, I was like, I'm not, whatever. I don't care who they get in the portal, who emerges. I am not going to be optimistic about the receiver room next year. I've been burned too many freaking times.
I'm telling you, man.
But hey, like, bro, Faison.
2 years ago,
look, I like Faison.
Last year we were a little less, into it. This year, we're not even going to mention. We're not mentioning wide receivers until after the Miami game.
Faison, he's a dude. Greathouse just balled the F out.
Yeah.
Fields and Pauling, I mean, they could be pretty good, but also we thought Bo Collins and Chris Mitchell would be 5 times, 10 times more productive than they were. And then like KK Smith, maybe Cam Williams, Micah Gilbert, some of these young guys emerge. I don't know, but
Saldate, forgot about Logan Saldate.
Yeah, Logan Saldate. I'm not going to grade. I'm just going to, when we do our grades show next year, Tim, I'm doing NA. Just NA on it. I'm not doing it.
All right. We got a handshake agreement. Exactly. We're not talking wide receivers.
I'm not agreeing to that. But
we're not. We don't want to jinx. It's like me with D-line. I'm not jinxing anything. B
Sam Pendleton.
B plus. Oh boy. All right.
TP Adam. Pendleton hitting the portal. Not really a surprise here, Tim. Notre Dame's got an absolute log jam on the offensive line. Next year's O-line, Tim. I mean, look, Pendleton's a starter for the Irish most years, but this upcoming one is just absolutely loaded. He's a good player, but I would guess he'll end up at like NC State or North Carolina.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah, I bet you NC State, right? But speaking of NC State, by the way, Zeke Correll went there and made second team All ACC. So he had a heck of. I actually watched some of his highlights in that this year. I followed him because I'm a big fan of his. I thought he competed his tail off at Notre Dame. That guy played so hard, but he played really, really well. Kept the weight on. He was thick as could be. He played really well for the Wolfpack. So I could see Pendleton going back home and going to one of those. But real quick on the O-line, guys. So, everyone's got, the mock drafts with Notre Dame, meaning the Notre Dame 2025, everyone's got, oh, man, we got to get this guy in there, this guy in there. Well, certain guys haven't played a lot. So let's just stick to this real quick. Jagasaw's playing somewhere, right? I think we could agree with that. He's an absolute stud. He was outstanding, in his 1.5 games in the playoffs he got. Emil Wagner, I've seen people say, well, is Emil as good as Gerby Lambert? Wagner, Mike, 16 starts, 973 snaps. You're telling me he's going to get benched? Don't think so. His season grade was 79.5. Fisher's best year was 71. So absolutely amazing. Coogan's got 26 starts. I truly hope he comes back. 813 snaps this season. Spindler, 23 starts, 750 snaps. Billy Schrauf had 700. He's got 15 starts because obviously he was injured a little bit this year. And then Knapp, 843 snaps, 15 starts for a freshman. So that's 6.
Yeah.
That's 6 linemen right there. And obviously, we know, oh my God, Ashton Craig's going to be coming back.
Will Black, did you talk about him?
Who?
Will Black.
I'm not. He's a true freshman who doesn't come till the summer. I'm like, people are like, oh, he's
late in the season. I could see it.
But injuries. He's not beating anybody out.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's injuries, it's the people are, Will Black could start. No,
So
who is he going to start
so
for?
Rick said Strouth is playing Wagner and Jagisaw fill in your last two. So, and I
It's
mean, you might be able to throw Craig in that too. So
exactly. So, but he's coming back from injury. I mean, you could go into camp and start the guys against Ohio State. There's 5 guys. Knapp's going to figure out somewhere, but that's but we don't know. Is Coogan coming back? Is Spindler's coming back?
dude.
But how do you sit those guys? They're obviously playing because they're better than the guys ahead of them now. So, or excuse me, behind them now. So, unless it's a numbers thing,
But
we love Sullivan after he's going into year 3.
But if Gerby, like let's say
Lambert's a stud, he is.
Like,
but you need a third tackle.
Jagisaw might be their left tackle,
Mm-hmm.
but if they're like, man, Gerby's so good and Jagisaw is just as good on the inside, it's like, why not put Gerby at left tackle and then slide Jagisaw inside? I think it would be really intriguing to see Gerby, Jags. What about like Knapp to center? Strouth, Wagner? I don't know. And then Craig Spindler. It's loaded. It's absolutely loaded. I have no idea what they're going to do. Like there's going to be 2 or 3 really, really good offensive linemen that are going to be on the bench, and I don't know.
But that was the same. But that was the same this year when you look at Coogan and Rocco Spindler coming on and obviously started. So your depth, you need depth. No matter what, you need depth. People keep talking about, who's the starting 5? Seriously, who gives a damn? Because someone's going to be out of game here or there. Someone's going to have a rolled ankle.
You give a damn. I give a damn. That's who gives a damn.
But no, it's the what if game. Well, Gerby, because people look at the stars, right? Well, Gerby Lambert should play. He's a 5-star. Well, all right, we'll see. He's, it's also development. Just like Emil Wagner was a 5-star. He didn't see the field till year 3. So certain guys are. Those guys aren't sitting the bench, so it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle to see what happens. And the key to me is Pat Coogan, because 26 starts. Where's Ashton Craig in his development?
Yeah,
he's coming back. Ashton Craig didn't set the world on fire in those first few games now. So, and he's going in. Ashton Craig's he's going to be a senior. He's a 4th year, right? He's with Emil Wagner's class. So he's going into his 4th year with 2 starts. So let's don't act like he's NFL ready. So it's going to be interesting to see how this thing molds out. But there are a lot of damn good depth.
Rick wants to know about Craig available in the spring. I want to say, no, I'm not going to. I thought I was looking back at that because I wouldn't know. I thought he was spring, but I can't remember. I honestly can't remember.
I mean, he could be like Rocco, who practiced in the
Maybe
spring.
It was Knapp.
Do the live stuff.
Maybe it's Knapp. I think Knapp's going to be ready for the spring, or that's the
expectation. Knapp just has
can't remember what was Craig's. What was Craig's injury?
ACL, MCL.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's back healthy for camp. So that's why. And the same thing. I know Joe Odding's there, but Joe Odding's been 3rd string since day 1. They've moved everyone else around him as the 2nd team center. So he's never even been in the running for 2nd team center. So Coogan is the wild card to come back to the team, in my opinion.
Jason, $2 super chat says left, right, Lambert, Strouth, Knapp, Jags, Wagner. I would flip Strouth and Wagner, and that's what I said. Like, I don't think you need to move Strouth to left guard. I mean, he played right guard there. Just played Jagisaw left guard. Keep Strouth on the right guard. But otherwise, Jason, yeah, I like it. I don't think you can really.
Then who are the backups? Freshmen?
I mean, it depends who. I don't know.
I'm telling you, man.
Guys leave or stay.
Notre Dame fans they crack me up, man. No one loves throwing away reps and starts more than Notre Dame fans. Like, I'll just get rid of that guy. He's only started 26.
Listen. I didn't need everyone to listen, because when I say things like Tim just did, I get a lot of crap. But not Tim doesn't. Okay, so Tim just patronized you guys.
Hey, I'm just saying, man.
Give him as much hate.
People just love to throw people. Just throw all those starts and playing time and 2 years of 1st team reps to the trash can.
I don't know.
Just don't do that. Hold on. First off, hold on.
They put Craig over Zeke, so sometimes you do it. If the player's better, it happens. Knapp over Baker. Tosh Baker had played more than Knapp.
Hold on. First off, Zeke was injured. Zeke had been 5 years. They didn't want to bring him back for a 6th. Zeke
Yeah,
Correll
'cause
got
Craig's
injured.
better.
That's when Ashton Craig replaced him as after an injury. Let's don't forget that. Zeke got injured and
Was
was
it?
done for the
Yeah,
rest of the
but he was coming back, and Craig
It was a 6-year. It was a 6-year. So that's why I got to look at it. But hey,
nap
the
over
O-line's
Baker.
got good depth. I'm telling you, man, they were a Joe Moore Award semifinalist with this group here, with Knapp and the other guys. So we'll see how it plays out.
Craig said, if nobody presses at quarterback, does Freeman hit the transfer portal again? Yeah, I mean, if the quarterbacks stink in the spring, what else are you going to do? You gonna move Ben Minnick to quarterback? I don't know. Like, you got to do
You got
something.
Rezac, so
Tyler Buckner. Tyler Buckner. There you go. I
the
don't.
portal. Hold on, let's take 10 seconds on the portal. Who's in the spring portal unless you call up a guy and say, hey, hit the portal and we'll take you. Because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no
I don't think.
established quarterbacks going to the portal after spring football.
Yeah. I think Buckner goes back to quarterback, by the way. I think he will. And I think he will be third, fourth string, but we'll see. We'll see.
I love it. I love the little niblets you're throwing out there tonight. Little nuggets.
Niblets. Okay, so let me pull up my list. So yeah, I feel like you put on the message board over under 5.5. I could have for portal guys out. I could have sworn you said like
No, that was you. No,
what did I say?
that was the singer. The singer, because you're like, because you posted today. I don't think it's going to be as many as you think. Because I said 9.5. My
That's what I
over
said.
under is 9.5. So I said the singer is 5.5 because you're hedging. You didn't want to give a number. So I was like, we'll go to the singer 5.5 number. So there you go.
I think so. They got 3 out. I think it's going to be less than people think for sure. Like people are talking like, 10 to 12. I don't know, man. People were saying 10 to 12 incoming. So I was like, no. 8 was even a little bit high from what I thought, but
They'll
I
get
was
10. They're
thinking
going to get 2 more after spring. They will get 2 to 3 more after spring.
Yeah, sure. I'm talking more in this window, the specific window right now that there's 3 more days that they can transfer out. Unless you're a grad, then you can leave whenever. But
leave whenever, yeah.
Anyways, Tim, let's talk about Augies locker room because we know you love Notre Dame memorabilia. And you can get it at one place. Again, HomeField's super unique. Augies is super unique as well. Like, where you getting a Drake Bowen Notre Dame football mini helmet signed? Xavier Watts one. You missed it. It just got sold out. He wrote Bronco Degurski winner on there too. I mean, Augie stuff is incredible, and Augie is an amazing guy too. Got to talk to Augie a couple weeks ago. So whether you're local, you're coming in town, you're driving through, whatever the case may be, you got to make time for Augie's locker room. Check out their wide selection of Notre Dame Stadium pieces, jerseys, helmets, autographs, and one-of-a-kind Rockney items. You can find exclusive Joe Montana signed items and famous sculptor Jeremy Kennis replicas of the bronze statues around the stadium. Augie gets new stuff in all of the time. If he doesn't have it in store, give him a call, and he's going to find it for you. So visit Augie at 1733 North Ironwood Drive, just down the street from Notre Dame. See the vintage helmet display dating back to 1890. He's got incredible stuff. You're going to want to check it out. 574-277-6363, AugieSlockerroom.com. How about we get this for Goolsby? A little Sam Hartman figurine. Freaking Sam Hartman. Joe Walt. There you go. That's the one you get. Sam Hartman. The gift that keeps on giving. Okay, Tim. Let's reflect on that national championship game. How many times have you got to see it?
Oh, I'll be really honest. I haven't watched it yet. It's like, what the heck am I gonna watch? I just watched them lose to the Ohio State Buckeyes again.
All right, so
the 7th time in my lifetime, 0-7. I've not watched it yet. Watched it only a couple highlights here or there.
So thinking back on the game, like what stands out, and then I know we wanted to talk about Jaden Greathouse a little bit. I'm fired up about him. Definitely no debates on the from me about the who made who fall, or anything like that. Greathouse was breaking ankles. That spin move, that was all instinctual. That thing, I'm going to pull it up here in a minute. Copyright be damned. That thing was so sweet. Absolutely fired up about Greathouse's future. And then just the 24 season as a whole, how you're going to remember it, Tim.
Oh, as a whole, are you kidding me? I mean, it's the best football team, the best seasons since '93. I said that after Georgia, more so even after Penn State. I mean, it's a heck of a football team, a heck of a run. The competitiveness, the way these guys played, 60 minutes of rock'em sock'em football, man, they just went after it. It was awesome to watch. They annihilated teams. I mentioned that tweet I saw Saturday night. Geez, Monday night after it was Monday night. Geez, here we are Wednesday already. So Monday night, where 6 times this year Notre Dame scored 49 points in a game. Never happened in a season. So many amazing plays, players, moments, legendary moments. Some ones that are going to be in Notre Dame's highlight reels forever. So, and even in this game, I mean, dude, you're down. That's one thing. You sit back now. Here it is, the second night since it's over, and you sit back and you're like, how is that game not 52-7, right? And because Notre Dame just played their tails off. Notre Dame battled back. They got back in that thing. Nothing's really changed since Monday night. It's looking over the numbers, looking over the drive charts, reading all my notes again, and the flow. It's that second quarter, man. It's a killer. That false start. Price is about ready. Price had a 9-yard run earlier. He's about ready to probably break another one, and Bo Collins jumps, takes that away. Then an incomplete. Riley Leonard had a couple guys open. He just overthrew.
He missed
then
the 3 or 4.
He missed a couple, but that's Riley Leonard, man. He's not the. I mean, we were going off of quarterback talent, arm talent, throwing talent. Will Howard has that all day long over Riley Leonard. Going back to the the evaluation of Riley versus Will last year when they were looking at both of these guys. Will Howard's a much better pocket quarterback. He showed that at Kansas State. Riley gets a little happy face. He's a spaz sometimes, but he's our spaz, as we like to say, right? He's our Notre Dame fandom spaz, and he runs around. He causes havoc with his legs. The guy's relentless. And real quick, Riley Leonard finished 11th in the country in QBR, quarterback rating, the ESPN analytics, 78.7, Mike. That is the 4th best one since the championship run at 12. I went back and looked at every quarterback. Ian Book's 20 and 18 season, 2020, 2018 playoff runs were right ahead of him in Kaiser's year in 2015, 79-1 to Leonard 78-7. So basically, Riley Leonard's the 3rd best quarterback season since the, I'm counting the playoff. You don't count anything before the playoff run of 12. It's crap football. So that's pretty impressive, Mike. It's bad. Google 97 to 2011. It's a lot of bad football. All right. So thank God we didn't have a show. But so Riley Leonard came in. He did a lot of good things. Hell of a year. I mean, Hartman was 23rd in the country last year. Riley Leonard's not the established quarterback, and he finished 11th. So that's pretty impressive right there. And then real quick on Greathouse, man. I mentioned this the other night, and it's been bugging me. So I took a little Tim Hyde research moments today because I said, man, when was the last time someone's had back-to-back 100-yard receiving yards, Mike? It's only been a couple. So
really?
Yes. I went back, obviously, to the 2012 season again. Greathouse back-to-back this year. None in 23 and none in 22. Kevin Austin had the Stanford game and the Fiesta Bowl back-to-back. And you start seeing these numbers, which, by the way, they're all high-end blue-chip wide receiver recruits. Shocking how that is, right? Javon McKinley, top 50 prospect, had in 2020 playoff run. Miles Boykin was a blue chipper, had Stanford Va-Tech. EQ St. Brown had 2 these are back-to-back games. Back-to-back 100-yard games, that's it. St. Brown did it in 16, none in 17, obviously. Will Fuller was a 3-star, but he's a first-round 3-star. Can we get those? Mike, he did it so many times, it's worthless to say. Yeah, he had 2 here, 3 here, 2 here. He did it 3 different times in 14 and 15. And then TJ Jones, who was a hidden gem, not hidden gem, but he's one of those guys we always forget about. Nice, solid career in the NFL. He did it 3 straight games in 2013. And then a little side note, this is just fascinating numbers. Chase Claypool never did it.
Really?
Which is why, yes, that was the one I said, oh, it's got to be Claypool. I forgot Austin had the Stanford game. I knew he had the Fiesta Bowl. But Chase Claypool had a 3-game stretch of 117, 97, 118. So he missed it by 3 yards in the 2019 season. So I found that interesting. So long story short, it's pretty fascinating that Jaden Greathouse is an elite company. What is that? 6 guys since 2012 with back-to-back 100-yard games. And his are obviously at the 2 of the highest stages. So kudos to him, man, because he was outstanding in these 2 games.
Yeah, JP, appreciate the 2 there. Yeah, I'm really excited about his outlook. Like he's I feel like I dropped off the Great House bandwagon in the season and was hopping more on the Faison one. And now I'm just I got a foot in both bandwagons. You know, I'm really excited about both guys, and I like Fields if Pauling is able to kind of figure out the drops, which I guess like he had a really good sophomore junior season with Mike Brown, and then this past season was not as good without Mike Brown, and then back with Brown and get back to his best form, he could be exciting. So yeah, Tim, I'm feeling good. Like we talked about at the start of the show, like getting back to that moment is going to be difficult, but there's I think the blueprint is there for Notre Dame. And you're close. You're close, Tim. You are a couple healthy DNs and a corner away from really being able to make a difference defensively to stop Ohio State more consistently. And then, the receivers, like you take that from like what would you grade the receivers this year, Tim? Like a D plus, like a C minus, something like that, like D plus.
The receivers at D plus? I thought they
all season.
Oh, they're better than I would say that they play better than our grade. I think the pass game was not, going back to Greathouse, everyone thought Greathouse was going to be this guy, but the pass game was just so spread out, right? It was, you know what I mean? It was just spread out, right?
12 different receivers catching a ball.
Yeah, it's like every 5 passes, I'm going to throw to someone, it just was so spread out. So I don't think it wasn't bad for who they are. Obviously, we want more. We want to be able to throw 50 yards on 3rd and 11.
If an A plus is Ohio State's receivers, then what was Notre Dame's?
B minus.
B minus?
Am I being too generous? But I'm being too generous because I just think that's the you know what? Some big drops, big moments. C plus. I think they graded out just like I figured. C plus.
Okay. You're being higher on their Notre Dame receivers because I feel like you complain about receivers all the time. I'm just a little surprised.
All the time, but a C plus grade. I gave them a C plus grade in the preseason. I mean, they're C plus.
But anyways, right? Tim, to go back to my point, like if that receiver group takes the next step, then it's like, damn. I mean, that team is like just as good as Ohio State. Like if you have a much like a significantly better receiver group, which I know is asking a lot, but like a better receiving group to go with a damn good quarterback, tremendous running backs, really good O-lines, really good tight ends, and then that defense is incredible. I know I'm throwing out a lot of ifs, but my point is they're close, right? Healthy Traore, healthy Mills, healthy Patello, and a healthy BMO. Like it's like, damn, it's close. It's close. So I'm feeling good about the future for Notre Dame football.
On paper, but then it's who are those? Tight end, man. I guess I'm the opposite in tight end. You have Eli Raridan and who? Cooper Flanagan's got Achilles. He's out for the year.
Yeah.
So who are you playing? The Arkansas guy, and Larson, who's never played a snap, and then a true freshman coming.
I think Flanagan could be pretty solid. I think he's a summer guy though, but still, I would not.
I mean, it's tight end. Go block a little bit, catch some passes, play your ass off, and
it's not like Denbrock is obsessed with the tight ends anyways.
I think Denbrock forgot he had Mitch Evans half the season, so it's like, they don't highlight the tight end.
There was some times. Let me pull up this. The stats, but I was like, seemed like Evans came along. It's like, damn, it sucks. Like, I wish you could have some more
running
Mitch
back.
Evans.
As long as if Price comes back, I wouldn't be surprised he's a fence guy. I mean, who knows? Unless
posted about him at blueandgold.com.
What's that?
I posted about Price and what I think he's going to do at Blue.
Oh, okay. I've read it, so I'll wait to see because hopefully he sees what the success Ohio State has. Penn State's guys both had 1,000 yards and are coming back. So, you don't have to be just the one guy like the Boise guy. So we'll see what happens there. I am curious. You just said something and made me think real quick is corner. We know they have 2 corners. Who in the hell's the third corner? We knew the third corner this year was going to be Mickey. And then, Leonard Moore stepped up because Gray and Ben Morrison were the starters. And then they, grew into the third corner with Leonard Moore. Who's that guy next year? Is it Hobbs? Is it a true freshman? So that is a big, big question mark.
Interesting.
Because obviously in the recruiting, Mickey's gone, Micah Bell's gone. Those are the number 2 corners in those classes. So who is that guy with Hobbs is this year with Leonard Moore. So does he step up as that third guy? That may be something you have to text contacts and check in on. Because I loved Hobbs' high school film.
Yeah, so. The corner thing is interesting. We have seen 3 like low 4-star, high 3-star guys emerge in the past few years. Clarence Lewis as a true freshman, Ben Morrison is a true freshman, Leonard Moore is a true freshman. None of them really highly ranked.
Yep.
And like Cree Thomas, could Cree Thomas continue that? Dallas Golden, Mark Zachary are freak shows. Like, could they be ready to roll?
It's got to. Yeah. That's another thing because Morrison didn't show up till the summer, and I know. Moore was there last spring, but no, it's going to be interesting to find those corners. Safety. I mean, Xavier Watts is, like I said, a Mount Rushmore of safeties at Notre Dame in the history of Notre Dame. So, who's replacing him? That's a little question mark. Obviously, you got the Vautech guy, Schuler, but now it's depth. I think if anything, you want to make a playoff run. Number one, Ohio State's the luckiest team. They lost 2 offensive linemen. They're both first-round draft picks, but everyone else stayed healthy all year. They played 16 games, Mike. Every one of their studs, he didn't miss, for a hangnail. So they were lucky as could be. Where Notre Dame's got 15 injuries and they're playing true freshmen in certain spots. So if we've learned anything, who are those young guys that step up and be the depth? Because if we learned anything, it's depth. It's those backups, like gentleman just mentioned, Tay Johnson. He came aboard late in the season, so he could be obviously one of those. That'd be awesome because his film was freakish, his skill set. So there's it's all about depth. D-line, I mentioned that. Who's stepping in from the 23-24 classes? And I'm talking the D tackles. They recruited a bunch of interior guys. Are we ever going to see Houston? Is Seviano really going to play? You always heard things, but he played in scrub time in Purdue and Navy. Cole Mullins. Is Cole Mullins eating enough mashed potatoes to hold some weight? Because he came in at 240, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I wouldn't guess Anya is back for next year. So yeah, we'll see. But you bring in Jared Dawson and Elijah Hughes, so you have at least a 4-man rotation of Heinisch, Rubio, Hughes. I feel like we know nothing about, but my sources at Notre Dame think he's a freak.
I told you
Jared Dawson.
I told you the Hughes guy. I went and watched his high school film. If he signed with Notre Dame, we would have done backflips. That dude was relentless in high school. Yeah, I told you, he's just like Reef, who signed this year out of Chicago. Same guy, 1,000% effort, long, just plays hard as could be. So if he's playing that way, he's up to like 290-ish. I was reading, at the SC thing. So that's a good little group right there. And then do any of those young guys, because there's a bunch of 300-pounders in that group now. Houston, obviously, and then you got Seviano. Can some of those guys step in and give a little bit of oomph up the gut, like the Buckeyes had a couple 300-pounders. Penn State's 300-pounders inside. So,
Tim, you ready to go to just react to some different things I've saved on my Twitter? David Pollock tweeted about Golden leaving. Man, this is a huge blow to the Irish. Top 5 head coach, OC, DC combo in all of college football. Tim, I got a bunch of things to go through, so we'll run through these pretty quick. But do you agree with this top 5?
Oh God, they're second. Ohio State's number 1.
Yeah,
and I would put Notre Dame definitely up number 2. Kirby Smart's crew up there. They're yes, without a doubt, top 3, top 5 triplets, head coach, coordinators, without a doubt.
All right, from Corey Yates. Now, this is recruiting or real analytics. This is that Twitter account that will, like, I don't know how
Yeah,
on TV
I love this
copy you're
guy.
figuring out the max speed,
Yeah, I
but
love this
on
guy.
Quinshaw Judkins' long run, look at where Judkins
I know.
is
Look
and
at
look at
Moore.
Leonard
Look
is. He maxes out at 22 miles per hour. He walks down Judkins, who I am a huge fan of, Quinshaw Judkins. Um, this is not the first time Leonard Moore has done that either, man. Leonard Moore is so special. Like, Jeremiah Smith had like 1 catches on 2 targets against Leonard
He
Moore.
had the one thing, man, the one thing that really sticks out when you watch him is just a calmness, a tremendous confidence. His dad's a professor, University of Texas, right? I saw a YouTube interview with him, and I was
Big
like,
academic family. Oh, yeah.
yes, but just fascinating to hear his dad speak. And I was like, oh my God, you can totally see where Leonard gets it, the way his dad confident and stuff like that. But hey, real quick, not to throw some salt in the wounds, but who was his second choice, by the way, when he chose Ole Miss?
You gonna say Notre Dame? I don't
Yeah,
know. I'd say Notre Dame second, but Notre Dame
I,
definitely had a better chance with him than people realize. Like,
it was
He
Ole Miss.
really
I
liked Lance Taylor. I don't think he ever visited, but I think it was an
it was
academic thing.
no, he did. He took a bit. I read it. He came up for the Western Michigan, whoever the heck they played that
Did
year. He
he?
came up for one of those games. I read it. So
What year was he? Were we at on three?
he's Darian Price. Price had already committed, like, because he committed to Ole Miss in like September. Jadarian committed in January, February. Price was one of the first commits in that
Oh yeah,
class.
he took an official.
Yes, yeah, took an official. I went and reread because I was like, man, I knew Notre Dame was recruiting him, and went and checked that out. I was like,
John
son of a gun.
Judkins. Yeah, you're right. This is starting to come back to me. We were
And then
still
it
at
was Ole
rivals, I
Miss
think.
versus Notre Dame, and it said Notre Dame obviously already had it back, but he said nothing but positives, about Notre Dame and all that. So that would have been a nice little combo, huh?
Yeah, the Irish had to cool on him, man. Just that's how it goes sometimes, man.
Oh, I know.
Here's another angle on
Player.
this play. Landon Tangwall tweeted this out. Chip Kelly using pre-snap motion to pull the eyes of the Notre Dame defense one away, then cut back the other way. Told you both defenses' eyes would be tested. This run by Judkins really was special. You see these linebackers flowing hard. Drake Bowen, man.
First off, it's the best playing football duo, and you got look at the. I don't want to watch this because it's
So saying this is the duo, right?
and the nose. Yes,
Duo.
you get double teams the point of attack. At the 2, yeah, you get 2 double teams. The goal is always to find 3, but the safety comes, boom, you get basically one right there. But you get 2 inside. You always fan out, pass block out. One of the offense or the DNs, excuse me, which is Bryce Young. So in this thing, you got Bryce Young, who should be the 3rd string DN. Heinisch is in there getting blocked down into the ground. That's not good. Cross is 5-6 yards downfield, and then you got Burnham gets pancaked by this tight end. So Bowen overruns the thing. It's like, Bowen, dude, how do you not just look at the open hole?
Dude, this was blocked.
Look at the window. Just fill the window.
This was blocked so well. The more you
Oh,
look at
dude,
this,
best play in America.
yeah, Burnham had himself a nice game, but yeah, if you're one-on-one against a tight end, which Burnham kind of gets held there, but
this is one thing. I don't want to be, hell, who cares, right? Be a little critical because
go for it.
One thing Notre Dame does, and it's like, is there are some times when they get motion because it's like, is Bowen confused with the numbers? Because obviously they practice. It's just split zone, off of duo. So he's chasing it so far. Does he think I have to get to the other side to help out on that split tight end that's blocking back? So they chase so much at times that guys do get out of position. And it's interesting to go back, rewatch film, chart it in the offseason to see are guys a little confused. Because I'm thinking of Bowen the one time against Georgia when the back leaks out. There was 5 dudes to the wide side, and Drake's the only Mike in the middle. Obviously, you got the one back. I always thought he had help backside. So sometimes do they get a little overly confused on some of the motions and the trade-off. So just one of those things I've noticed when watching some of the film this year on the D.
All right, Tim, break this down.
You got the Texas mullet. You got the fight. By the way, the fighting Sobel busting out the SEC, the Mizzou thing, right? I saw the little thing from Barstool posted about Dan Woken, who's a tool, anti Notre Dame clown. Singer's looking like he's 6'7" because Kyle's definitely not 5'6". So Singer's got to be 6'7", making Kyle 6'1". So that's what I see. That's what I see.
I'm a big guy, but like I look freaking huge here, man.
Kyle's the best. No, it's
did the photographer like stretch? I look, I'm like everyone is like, oh, Singer, I thought you were 5'10". Like,
I know, what is the 5'10" thing? You know,
I've said I'm 6'2". Now the thing is, when I met Mike Goolsby, I mean, Goolsby was like, Mike, you sized me up, bro? I was like, yeah. I was like, I could not believe that we were pretty close in height. I couldn't believe it. Maybe I've gotten a little taller. Goolsby shrunk a little bit, but like Goolsby is 6'4". Like he was 6'4". I'm like 6'2.5".
Yeah, but Goolsby's slouching. He doesn't want to get too much taller than you.
Yeah, maybe he was slouching. Maybe I was on my.
Maybe you're on a little piece of ice because I know it was cold down there in Atlanta, right?
I did meet. Oh my gosh, it was freezing. Goolsby was shocked that this is all I was wearing, just a button down and a little puffy jacket. That was it, man. I was like, I don't know. I got a lot of, a lot of belly fat to warm me up, I guess.
Oh, the baby, man, it's the baby. Relax too much.
I met so many Notre Dame fans. It was incredible. Awesome. Like at Goolsby's tailgate was neat, but just walking around the stadium and Singer, love your show. Like it's I mean, it was awesome. It was really neat.
That's cool.
I will say there was one point, at the tailgate, people asked me like, what's your score prediction? And I felt like I was getting attacked by a group of piranhas, Tim, like, because I said on the record 24-23 Notre Dame. That's what I said in our video, but I was like, gun to my head, I think it's Ohio State by 2 touchdowns. And of course, that wasn't the case. Notre Dame ended up making it closer than that by a little bit, but I'm just like, dude, it's a better team. But Tim, I'm going to be honest, I'm a hack because I picked Notre Dame to win, even though I didn't believe it, because of if Notre Dame won a national championship and I picked Ohio State, I couldn't, I would, I mean, you guys wouldn't have let me live with it.
Oh, man.
So,
it's really interesting. Obviously, I mean, you could get in, people say the team of destiny and things of that nature. I was always the thing of, no, it's Notre Dame. This is the way Notre Dame's supposed to be. This is what Notre Dame is you play for these, you compete for these, you're in these games, which they were this year in these big moments. But, one last takeaway on the Buckeyes game is they're just a better football team. They are. They're the better football program. They're all that stuff. I remember talking, going back, I like to talk about everything past 93. 93 is the last great year until now. So you go this giant period, and Notre Dame only had what I count 10 win seasons coming into this year. Ohio State had like 24 out of 30 years. So massive difference. And then just their talent, Mike. So I went back when I was watching the game, looking at some of the guys, because everyone likes to throw out the $20 million team. It could be 20 million, but what did they do? They went and they brought back their guys. So, they got a safety. They got the best one, Caleb Downs. They got Judkins. They got a quarterback, but so did Notre Dame. Yeah. Notre Dame got more portal guys than Ohio State. So Notre Dame's portal guys are all out there playing like crazy. Ohio State only had a handful. Obviously, there's, Downs is a stud who they stole away from Bama. Well, that's nature of the beast. You could do that. But the guys they brought back, Mike, I counted 13 blue chip players from the class of 2020 and 2021. 8 of those 13, Mike, are in the top 50 of recruiting rankings. 8 out of 13 that they got back, that they brought back. So a lot of damn good football players, and they're a damn good football team. As life goes.
Way too early. Top 25 by ESPN. Ohio State. Tim said Penn State would be 1.
Yes.
Did we bet on that? I told you no one's going to do Penn State 1.
Well, they're number 3.
Well, they're not 1. Ohio State 1, Texas 2, Penn State 3, Notre Dame 4, Georgia 5. How cool. I mean, look, it's a way too early college football top 25.
Way
The actual preseason one means nothing. I mean, shit, there was a guy who put Notre Dame outside of
Oh,
his top 36. You
he's not a
shitting
voter.
me? But it's cool to see Notre Dame above Georgia, above Oregon, above Clemson, above Brian Kelly's family,
Where's
BYU,
LSU?
South Carolina, LSU at 8. So
That's interesting because LSU is getting a ton of hype. So we'll see how they're on there. But real quick, Ohio, ESPN put out one as well. All the major sites do. And I've been reading some of those. Notre Dame's a consistent 5-6, right in that range. The Buckeye one is interesting because everyone's like, well, they got Smith and Downs coming back. True. It's going to be Julian Sand versus the St. Clair guy, it sounds like, a quarterback. So you're going to go with a redshirt freshman or a true freshman. But they got talent all over the places. That's why they recruit in the top 3 every damn year. So they got players. But Texas, I think me personally, I think at the end of the day, I think Texas will be number 1.
this is what Andy Staples and Ari Wasserman had. They have Texas at 1.
Exactly. I think it's going to be Texas number 1 because of Arch. They've recruited really well. What is this going to be? Sark's 5th season? Is it his 5th year? I think 5th year. He left. He was the OC in 20 at Bama when they won the title, and then he came to Texas. So you're looking at his 5th year. Great recruiting, great resources, all those things. But they got to you want to talk about offensive line guys. They have 4 offensive linemen. 3 go to the NFL early. So they got to replace 4 starting offensive linemen. That's going to be interesting. And they play Ohio State game 1. It's Notre Dame, Miami, and then Ohio State, Texas, and LSU plays Clemson in Clemson, by the way. So just so in case you want to rent something out there. So in that little area, but
I got a place.
And the one team that's not on here is Ole Miss. Think of all the money they spent. You want to talk about teams that spent money. All that money at Ole Miss, I was reading up on them, and they're just like, no players. Because he hasn't been a big recruiter, right? He's been a portal. So we'll see how his portal philosophy goes this year. So that was interesting not to see them. But real quick, last year, preseason, you talk about the preseason top 10, Mike. Georgia was 1. They finished top 10. Ohio State 2, won the title. Oregon 3, finished 3rd. Texas 4th, finished 4th. Bama finished, there were 5 out where they finished, I think 17th in the AP. Ole Miss was preseason 6, where they finished 10, 11, 12 after their bowl win. ND was 7, finished 2. Penn State 8, finished 4 or 5, right? I think they were right behind Texas at 5. I think there were 5. And then here you go, back to back. Who is this? Was that McMurphy? Brett McMurphy always loves to post these things. It's like every year for the last 20 years, a preseason top 10 has it finished ranked. Number 9, Michigan. Number 10, Florida State.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And oh God, hold on. We're having fun. I know I'm tired as could be and whatever. Real quick on the final poll. The final poll here, guys. So Notre Dame in the final poll. This was awesome. I had to go back and dive into this one because I saw someone on the message board. It piqued my interest. Notre Dame had wins over number 21 Army. This is the final ranking. 6 Georgia, 5 Penn State, and 10 Indiana. It's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, 3 top 10 wins.
So I went back to the their title runs. In 12, they had 3. They had Stanford at 7, Oklahoma at 15, Michigan finished 24. This is the final poll. 1993, their last true national title, which I'm going to convince everyone to do. They beat number 1 FSU, Mike, but they're finished 2nd. Figure that one out. A&M was 9th, Boston College 13. Oh, shit, they lost to Boston College. I'm thinking of 92. Sorry, guys. Michigan 21. But the one that kills me, guys, listen to this. You want to talk about a hard schedule? The old dogs on the message board know this. 1989, Mike, they finished 2nd. This was Lou Holtz's argument. They lost to Miami, but they're like, hell. Listen to who they beat. This is the final AP rankings. Number 4, Colorado. Number 7, Michigan. Number 8, SC. Number 15, Penn State. 16, Michigan State. 17, Pitt. 18, Virginia. And their only loss was at Miami. It's not too bad, huh? And then in 88, when they won the title, They beat number 2 Miami, 4 Michigan, 5 West Virginia, 7 SC, 4 in the top 10. So just saying what Notre Dame did this year with Marcus Freeman in year 3, it's up there with some of the greatest teams, you know, many
Yeah,
years at Notre Dame. So
100%.
very impressive.
Biggs, appreciate the 199 and our Mendoza blue gold tailgate in Miami. Let's do it. I'll be at the game, Tim. When are we going to get you down? When are we going to have a little Mike Singer, Tim Hyde in person interaction?
Well, I'm definitely gonna go. We'll talk about that. They're at BC this year. I definitely gonna go to that one. So,
but am I gonna go to BC, Tim?
Probably not. Who wants to go to Chestnut Hill? Nobody.
No,
but,
I'm good.
I'll go. We'll have to look at the schedule.
You haven't been out to South Bend since I've known you. Like, I don't think you've been back.
No, we got to do a blue game. We got to do maybe a blue gold game. We'll see if we both get away, sneak away from the families, and go have a few soda pops and hang out on a Saturday.
Yeah, maybe do the show together from just one computer. Do a little passing the microphone. That'd be sick.
Yeah, like Andy and Ari do when they hang out together. There you go. So
yeah, they were just like 3 seats over from me. Like, I saw them doing their show. I was actually doing our show right next to them. So,
that's awesome.
All right, folks.
A hell of a year. In closing, a hell of a season. Hell of a year, man. They finished number 2. They haven't finished this high since 1993. Hell of a season.
Yeah.
And let's do it again, man. Let's do it again.
Okay. How do I put this into words? The season couldn't have gone much better. It could have, obviously, you could have won the whole damn thing, but without winning the whole damn thing, that is as good as it can go. Okay, maybe you don't lose to freaking NIU. Maybe you don't lose to NIU, but NIU aside,
but I'm one of those football
in terms of accomplishments, right? In terms of accomplishments, it doesn't get much better than what you just accomplished this season. It does, but I mean, they did so much this season, Tim. That was an incredible football season.
If you beat NIU, but is there somewhere else in there? You know what I mean? There's a whole. What's Mark with Glass been on hold this whole time? Good man.
Hit the thumbs up, people. What the hell are we doing? Thank you, Quentin.
Hey, I think the story, as we wrap up, the story of the season is always going to be NIU.
No,
it is, right?
The story of the season?
The story, how it was written, starts from there, correct?
Yeah. Well, it starts
from there.
And
how Freeman used that and just playing it. Can you imagine going to the football office every day and that damn game's on?
Wait. Okay, Tim, you just reminded me. I want to do sometime in the dog days of the off season, Tim.
Sure.
And it might be like a 5-6 hour stream. And I have to figure out how we can make it work without getting like a hard copyright strike on the channel. But me and you do like this thing, right? It's where we have something on the screen and we just watch the Penn State game.
Penn State game would be fun.
And it will take a while because it's a 4-hour game, and then we're gonna be pausing it all the time, or I'll skip through all the commercials and stuff. Still gonna take like 5 hours to get through that thing. So we have to do that. I think that would be so much fun.
Maybe we'll just put, I could put it into a coach's software. And
no, we can do the TV copy. I just either have to demonetize the video.
No, put the TV copy into the coach's software and just watch it from there. But we won't have sound, and we'll just do play-by-play as we watch it.
Telling you, I could just pull up the replay. We'll just watch the replay. I just got to figure out how the legalities of it will work on my end, if we can make it work. Because I'm not about to get our channel taken down for something. But even if it's the channel makes $0 and I'm wasting 5 hours, that's fine. I think that would be hella a lot of fun, dude. You'll still get paid, Tim, but I want to do it. I think that.
No, seriously, you mentioned that before. That could be a fun little activity one night, and just have some fun and look back at the
burner channel. Yeah, something like that. But then, I don't know. There's something I can do. There's something we can do there. But folks, please hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, I suspect we might have some new people. It's your first time watching us. Subscribe. We do this every week. Tim, we'll have to talk about if we're going to move back to Wednesdays or stick to Tuesdays in the off season.
Yeah, you're right.
But
tonight.
We'll talk about that. Recruiting show is today Wednesday.
Junior Day, Mike. Can you believe it?
Shit. Yeah. Well, when did I want to do a show with Kyle Kelly? So we got a huge recruiting weekend this weekend. So I was going to do a show with Kyle Kelly.
Probably Friday, a little prep, right?
Yeah, let me text Kyle. Hold on.
But no, man, I mean, we mentioned this the other big recruiting weekend. Man, you already got
Huge.
yeah, exactly, a bunch of studs. You know, I think it's going to be a huge sale. I think the Jack Kaiser Riley Leonard post game show should be in some Chad Bowden recruiting videos to families. Like this is what Notre Dame
Yeah.
does to you. It makes you a man. So, by the
Yeah.
way, those videos, listen to those guys. It was like it was
Uh,
awesome.
Dude,
Being a longtime Notre Dame fan and listening to those two guys was awesome.
Peter probably said get Goolsby on for that. If we had 3 of us on there, we would be there for 9 hours. Like, how long would that take 3 guys? I mean, we would, because we would be there forever. Goolsby, speaking of, by the way, our legend here, Sunday. We're gonna do Sunday. He's traveling. He gets back, I think, Friday. He's gonna want to recharge his batteries because he was in Atlanta for the game. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, putting his business out there. But then he was had to do a work thing or something. I think he said that on one of our shows. So we're gonna do Sunday night, Goolsby and I. So we'll talk our experience in Atlanta. We'll talk about the game, I'm sure, and we'll look ahead to 2025. So again, folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. And as always, folks, we will catch you next time.